Hi everyone! It is Wednesday, June 27th, 2016, and this is episode 80 of Serenova Crafts. Oh, you can see Koki. There's Koki. Hey, Koki! No, you're gonna ignore me? Okay. Well, if you come close enough, I'll pick you up. No? Okay. She doesn't like the threat of being picked up. Anyways, back to my introduction. I am your host, Jessica. Like I said, this is episode 80 of Serenova Crafts. Oh my god, 80 episodes, like holy crap. Started this year and a half ago on a whim. You can find me as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and as Serenova Crafts on Instagram. You can find the show notes for today's episode in my blog or in the Ravelry group. I really should write more actual written blog entries. I haven't done that in like a year. Please come join the Ravelry group. I'm always on Ravelry. Like, there's always a tab open on my computer that's Ravelry. So if you want to message me, come to the group and chat. I have an Ask Me Anything thread. I also do a monthly giveaway thread, which for July you have until I remember to lock the thread sometime next week to get your stuff in. Doesn't matter when you started a project, because I got a question about this last week. For my giveaway threads, for my monthly giveaway thread, it does not matter when you started the project. It doesn't even matter what the project is. If it's a craft, if it's weaving, knitting, if it's yarn of some kind, macrame, tatting, nalbining, like literally if it's a yarn craft of some kind. If you finish it in the month the thread is for, you can enter it. There's also a chatter thread that I don't do monthly. I was originally doing the monthly, but nobody was talking, and I'm just like, I'll just have one thread. So if you want to comment on somebody's finished object, ask them a question about it or whatever, please go to the chatter thread. The finished object thread for every month is for me to do my draw, so I don't want any chatter in there, but I have a dedicated chatter thread. So if you want to chatter, if you want to ask someone about their project, feel free to go over to the chatter thread, tag them, and ask them your question. Like I said, I have an Ask Me Anything thread. If you have any questions for me, you can also email me. My email is listed in the credits of this episode. I should put it in my Rav group. I'm not sure if it's actually in the description on my Rav group. I'm actually going to check that real quick because I don't think it's in the description. It might be, it might not be. No, it is not. I will make a note to add that to my description so you can email me. I have a specific like crafting design email that I use. Group page. Add email to Rav group page. There we go. It's yochanadesigns@gmail.com. I know you probably can't spell it. It's YOCHANNA designs@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. Like, I have Outlook, so all my emails together in one place, so it doesn't matter what email you email me at. I know some of my friends have a different email for me, but the Johanna Designs one is the one that I put on like the patterns that I release on Ravelry and all that stuff. So that's like my crafting email. But seriously, if you want to ever just hit me up, if you want to chat, if you want to, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, friend me on Rav, totally cool. Feel free. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people, etc., etc., etc. VKN this week, I am in fact having a VKN this week. Last week I went and saw Star Trek. I am not going to spoil the movie for you. However, I will give you the short 10-word or less description I came up with to not spoil the movie but tell people what I thought of it. And it is thus. I laughed, I cried, there was Beastie Boys, good movie. I'll just leave it at that. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie, it's a good movie. Go see it. And I normally don't go see movies in theaters. I normally don't. Because normally, movies just don't grab me. I'm just not, I'm just kind of meh on movies. But I've always been a Star Trek fan. And actually, it was really funny because we went to the premiere on Thursday night. And then Friday night, I looked at Kevin and I went, I want to watch the Whales movie. And by the Whales movie, I mean Star Trek IV The Voyage Home, which its alternate title should be Star Trek IV Save the Whales. Because basically the entire movie bashes you overhead with the message of Save the Whales. Because if you're not familiar with Star Trek IV, the movie's been out since the 80s, so I'm just going to spoil it for you because it's been out since the 80s. Spoilers don't count anymore. If it was like in the last 5 years, spoilers would count. But the movie's been out longer than I've been alive, I think. When was Star Trek IV released? I don't know. I think it's been out, it's at least as old as I am. Star Trek 4 was released in 1986. The movie is 1 year older than me. So this is, I don't think this is spoilers. Basically, the Enterprise crew, which, by the way, the ship was destroyed in the previous movie, which is Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. The Enterprise gets destroyed in the previous movie, so the crew is on exile on Vulcan, and a probe is coming towards Earth and is apparently going to destroy Earth. They figure out that the probe is calling out in whale song. They don't know how to respond in whale song, because who on Earth speaks whale song in the 23rd century? So they go back in time to 1980 San Francisco, nab a couple of humpback whales, much drama ensues, and also the Enterprise crew walking around 1980 San Francisco is just hilarious. Also, it's still the Cold War, so Chekhov gets himself in trouble. Oh yeah, it's really funny. They beam the whales aboard the Klingon bird of prey, and then proceed to return to the 23rd century, thus saving the Earth. So the message is, save the whales. And I am totally distracted now. This is supposed to be a knitting podcast, and I just spent the last 4 minutes talking about Star Trek. You're getting an all over the place episode today. There's not much knitting content this week, unfortunately. I could have skipped this week because there's not much to show you, but I know if I skip a week, that's going down the rabbit hole of skipping more weeks and not holding myself to my weekly thing of doing this podcast. And because I've made so many good friends doing this, and because I've gotten to know so many great people, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So even if I only have 2 minutes worth of content, I'm going to record every week. So guess I'll just go right into the knitting, because I only have the one thing. I only have my true friend, which I am not in the middle of a row of, but it doesn't matter because you can't tell. I have done 9 of the stripes I need for this size of the sweater. So this is coming out a lot better than the other one. The fabric is nice and drapey the way I wanted it, and it'll block out. There's a lot of stretch to this fabric, so it'll block out real nice. The fabric I was getting on a US 4, which is the needle size called for in the pattern, was just not, it was too stiff because I'm such a tight knitter. So I'm deliberately trying to knit looser, and I went up a needle size. So here it is. I have done 9. I have both colors of yarn attached, because why break the yarn every time if I don't have to, because that's just silly. Because, why weave in all those ends if I don't have to weave in all those ends? I mean, it's 2-row stripes. Why weave in all those ends, right? And I'm not giving anything away by saying it's 2-row stripes, because you can look at the photo on the pattern page, and it's 2-row stripes. So that's not giving anything away. So I'm like, the corner where I'm carrying the yarn is much looser this time. It's not like all like scrunched up like it was. So I'm happy. I've just found myself slowing down with this because this is the second time I've knit this pattern. I knit the first version in less than 2 weeks. And then this time I'm just like, holy crap, I'm doing this again. I'm doing this again, right? So it's just, I'm kind of forcing myself to do it twice. Now, not that that's not a bad thing, because I do want the finished object. My mom is of the opinion that the sweater won't look good on me. I personally just like the look of the sweater, and I want the sweater. And I don't really care if something looks good on me or not. If I like it, I'm going to wear it. I mean, okay, I care if something looks good. I care that I don't look like I'm wearing a sack or something, right? Like, and I won't wear certain colors because I know I look jaundiced, because I'm just so pale that I can't wear pastels. But at the same time, like, if I knit something and I like it, I'm going to wear it. Whether I think it looks good or not is immaterial. So my mom's of the opinion the sweater isn't going to look on me, and she doesn't know why I'm knitting it, and I'm like, Mom, I want the sweater. And at this point, normally I enjoy both the product and the process of knitting, but right now, I just want the product. This has turned into a product knit because I'm not enjoying the process anymore. Now, the first time through, I was enjoying the process. Second time through, not enjoying the process. Because normally I'm a little bit of both. I enjoy the process, but I want the FO. This time, I just want the FO. I just want the finished object. I just want it done. I want it off my needles. So I really should buckle down and knit on it. But because I'm kind of struggling with not wanting to knit on it, but I want it, I'm not knitting on it as much as I should be knitting on it, but I'm not knitting on anything else because I feel guilty not working on the sweater. Yay, circular logic, right? So hopefully I will get some more done on this in the coming week. Now, last time, when you saw it last week, I was literally in the process of picking up the stitches to start the stripes. And I didn't put a marker in because I knew I was in the process of picking up the stitches and I hadn't knit any stripes yet. But now that I've knit stripes, I will put a marker in so I can show you next week where I am. So that's it for knitting. I've not knit on any socks. I've literally been mono knitting. I have like 15 whips and Rav, and I've been knitting on this one thing. I swear. So, one other thing I want to talk about is, like I said, I do have the giveaway thread. I still have the VKN this week, finished object. I will be going to Rhinebeck this year. I am looking into maybe getting buttons or something made that I can give out to people if you come up to me. So, if you watch my podcast and you go to Rhinebeck and I don't already know you, as in you're not the people I'm staying with, feel free to come up and say hi. Totally just be like, hey, can we take a selfie? Or I want to get a picture of you, or whatever. I will probably wear my big-ass Rockefeller that is Hufflepuff colors, that is in the opening title card for my podcast, that project. That's kind of become my iconic thing, because I'm a Hufflepuff, but I'm a knitter, and so I made my Rockefeller, which people call it my bee Rockefeller, as in the animal, but I'm like, no, it's Hufflepuff, I'm a nerd! Which, by the way, completely off topic again, I took the Ilvermorny sorting test on Pottermore, and I got Puckwudgie. So I'm a Hufflepuff Puckwudgie. Yes, nerd. Very big nerd. And so the last thing I want to talk about is, give me an opinion on this. I've been using my bullet journal, which this is the one, the official bullet journal, which you can kind of see. It says bullet journal on the cover. Trying to get it angled and such. It's embossed, so you can't really see it that well. It's embossed on the cover. Now, I am not quite halfway through this book. I actually pasted my ticket in from Star Trek. Actually pasted the ticket in. I'm not quite through this book, but at the same time, I have switched from a daily thing where like I put like 1 page per day to a weekly layout where I have the whole week in front of me. And I find that the weekly layout is much better for me because I can see everything at once. I can see my whole week in one shot, start on Monday, end on Sunday, because that's like when my weeks kind of start is Monday. I mean, I know calendar-wise, they start on Sunday, but at the same time, I still consider Sunday part of the weekend, and the week doesn't start until I have to get up on Monday morning and do stuff. So I have switched to a weekly layout. However, this book is a little small for that. Now, where's my ruler? This book is only, it's a European size, which is an A5. It's like 5 3/4 inches by like 8 1/4 inches. So it's like 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, right? By 8 1/4. Which I'm not finding big enough because like last week I started to fill up some of the days, right? I was running out of space. So I have a bigger moleskin. See the difference? Like, and yes, I put stickers on the black one, so sue me. You can see the difference. So you can, if I line them up right, you can see the size difference, right? So I'm thinking the moleskin is better for weekly layouts. They both have the same page on the inside. It's a dot grid. If you're not familiar with, it's a dot grid, which I actually like the dot grid as opposed to a graph or a lined. But at the same time, I feel guilty not using up the rest of this, but at the same time, it's starting to not work for me. And yes, I put stickers on it. There's a sticker on the back, too. I put stickers on it to, like, show myself up, because it was black and boring and blah, blah, blah. You know, but I started doing my months out like this, which I like. But again, the blocks can get kind of filled up depending on the month. So, like, some of the months and some of the days in June got really full with things that were going on and things like that. So, I don't know. I'm thinking of switching simply because, well, the moleskin didn't cost me very much. I got it on sale. I feel bad for not finishing out this one, but at the same time, I am not using it the way I was originally using it. When I was using it 1 day per page, it was fine. Now that I'm not using it 1 day per page, it's not the same. This does have features I like compared to the moleskin, as in it has a built-in index, it has a built-in page numbers. I don't need to write all the page numbers like I do in the moleskin, but I'm leaning towards switching. If you have opinions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, so as I was saying, I got a portable charger for my phone so I can go out and play Pokemon Go for longer than the regular battery lives in this. I couldn't get an extended battery for this phone because this does not have a removable battery, unlike my previous phone, where, as you can see here, because I still have it, it's nice and thick because I have an extended battery in here, but this had a removable battery. This does not, hence the portable battery charger. Anyways, I think that is it. I'm probably up to 15 or 16 minutes here. Most of it of me just babbling, not necessarily much knitting content this week. If I finish the body of the sweater for next week, which is kind of my goal, I should have more knitting content for you, because once I finish the body, the sleeves will just be a breeze. I'm thinking of not decreasing on the sleeves, just having them loose all the way down, but we'll see. I will see how that works, because I'm extending the sleeves from three quarter to full, so we'll see what I do with the sleeves. I might fiddle a little. But I think that's about it. I have a pen pal letter to get in the mail, and yeah, I think that's about it. So I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye!